episode 34 of the MDG podcast, produced by Owl Lane Productions. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by the Aqualani's Camp Cooking Club. Visit room 401 every other Tuesday at lunch to increase your cooking repertoire while simultaneously developing a love for the outdoors and young teens. Use code #MDG for a free meal. Before we start this episode, we would like to take a moment and congratulate our producer, Owl Lane Productions, on over 3.2 million views, 677,000 likes, and 20,000 followers on TikTok. Can we bring him out here? Yeah, let's bring him out.
Yeah, let's bring him out here.
Hello. So Oliver, how do you acquire this newfound TikTok fame?
I don't know. I just promote my own stuff now, so. Yeah, that deserves another round of applause. Okay, now before we continue, we have a couple special guests on our podcast. Today on the podcast we have special guest and friend Maximus, also known as quote-unquote in the pocket. And he has brought along with him Aiden Pratt, or I don't even remember what we wrote. Based God Official TM.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got that right.
Okay, so I feel like we should start off talking about some music stuff.
Okay.
Alright. So, music.
What do you guys think of music?
So awkward.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Yeah, I got really
so-
into it for a while, and then I just like I reached a point where it's just like, I'm done with this.
There's no
Okay,
reason.
here's like an actually good question though. So, I'm gonna close it because we don't need that.
Okay.
So classical.
Classical topics.
So classical musicians, right, like Mozart and Bach and stuff,
Yeah.
if they came today, like to the future, would they appreciate today's music?
That's a good question.
Maybe.
No.
Oh yeah, no. I feel like maybe though because
I don't think they
because okay, but like chord changes, right? Most chord changes somehow came out of like that music. You know what I mean? Like the movement of it is very like predictable now because that was like they created the standard for that stuff. You know what I mean? So like I feel like if they heard a lot of the pop music, they'd be like, okay, they're kind of implementing somewhat like the chords that we use, but like also they'd be like, wow, this shit is really really bad.
But they'd also be like, it's so unoriginal because it'd be like, it's the same type of thing every time. They'd probably not like that.
And also like the whole like rap hip hop genre compared to like classical music is like so different. You know what I mean?
I feel like anything is so different.
Yeah.
Like I mean, yeah, even jazz
Yeah,
is so
it's
much different. Like it's very connected, cause like it has the same like jazz has roots in classical music, but it's like way more rhythmic.
It's true. It's very true.
Very true.
Yeah, I don't think they'd like it at all. I think they probably hate it because they're just not used to it. They're just like their ears are like not cool with it, you know.
Dude, and all the bass and all this music is
Yeah.
like, what the hell? Yeah.
So, cavemen. Yeah. No, okay. So like the first ever music, right, was probably just drum based, right?
Yeah.
But like, how? Have you ever thought about how people like? No, I'm not gonna bring up the other thing. How?
Oh, rhythm, dude. Life is rhythmic.
No,
Life is
but
rhythm.
like who thought to like
Love is rhythm.
like I wonder how they figured out like the whole notes thing. You know,
Like
what I mean?
notation, like how to write stuff.
Like not just that, but like melodic instruments. 'Cause, like they obviously like had different tone drums, but like the first string instrument, right? Like you don't.
Yeah.
It'd be weird to figure that out not knowing
They exist.
anything.
Well, I feel like there's probably, I mean, at some point they must have had something thin, somehow like taught between 2 points, and then they just like rubbed it or something. What? No. They just like walk by. They're like, you know, like think of like a clothesline. Think of like a clothesline or something, like something like tight, like a tight string.
Where is that in nature?
No, it doesn't need to be in nature. It's like man-made. Yeah, dude. It's like
Yeah, no, dude.
they have something thin.
Where could they get something thin?
Like okay, let's say animal hairs, right? No, I'm serious,
Okay,
dude.
alright,
Okay,
alright,
animal
I hear
skin. Animal skin. All the drums were made out of animal skin,
Yeah.
right? That makes sense. So if you start making little necklaces and crap with like the string that they make out of the hairs and stuff,
Okay.
at some point they had it somehow like pulled pretty tight, and then someone like rubbed it or like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, that sounds
I'm
sick.
so glad.
I was wondering-
not gonna take it out.
I just like created. Like,
Yeah, I just
music.
created sound
It's
out
like,
of something
dude, I
other
just
than a drum.
created
That's cool.
music.
And then
Cool.
that goes ham, and then keeps going ham, and now we're here
But what about like,
with the grand piano.
what if they use like other things first, like wind instruments, like shells and stuff? They were just blowing in them.
That's actually a good point.
Yeah.
Because like the
Oh.
whole like conch.
Who
Yeah,
blew in a
conch
shell? Who
Conch
thought to
shell.
blow in a shell?
I don't know.
It's like, oh, some
I don't know,
creature
maybe
lived in
they
here
were,
not
like,
too long ago.
They
and
they
blow
missed
in it.
and then they're just like.
I mean,
They're trying. Maybe they're like trying to suck out the innards of like a hermit crab,
Whoa.
and they accidentally like blew out the hermit crab instead of
Do
sucking
they
it in.
suck out hermit? Is that how it works?
I seriously doubt it.
Do they eat hermit crabs? Is that like a?
I think it's a
I
delicacy
hope
in
not.
Switzerland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ew.
I could find some at my local Petco.
Oh, I just thought of this. You know, like street musicians, right? They're really
Yeah.
cool. Like my favorite type of like street musician is the one with like all the wine glasses. And
Oh,
they,
that's
like,
just-
they like
that's
rub,
so
they
hard.
rub it and stuff, and it's super cool. And it's not relevant to like what we're talking about at all. But I just felt like they need a shout out. So shout
Shout
so
out.
for all you out there, shout out to those people who like rub glasses.
If you were
Good
there,
job.
I would put
Boing.
50 cents in your bowl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like with my mind, I'm get happiness.
Is that 5 minutes? Okay, okay.
No, we don't need it. Okay.
No, but
So-
I don't remember the other two topics.
Okay, fine. You can look at the stupid like.
You dumbass, fine. Come on.
So I know this already.
Oh,
Cool.
Yeah, I have it memorized, so you don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
See, you remember.
yeah. Okay. Whatever. So Christmas music, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is like it's basically they're playing the same music like every year,
Yeah.
but like people change it. But like, first of all, are the changes like worth it? Like, not like is it worth it, but like, are the changes like
Enough.
that? Are they actually changing the music?
Mm-hmm.
Or are they really just playing the same song? And is it just
really
like a
just
money
playing
grab,
the same?
you know what I mean?
Dude, 100% money grab, in my opinion. It's like they're not good anymore. Like the last like real Christmas song that was like popular, and like is known as a Christmas song was that Mariah Carey song. You know,
Oh,
The one that
All I
goes,
Want for
All I
Christmas
Want
is-
for
yeah.
Christmas is
Yeah.
is you exactly? Yeah, that one
That is the last Christmas song we will probably see in a while
exactly.
before Christmas becomes
Gone.
not politically correct.
That's true.
That's actually also,
it's too
that's
religious.
Like that's like the
Yeah.
controversy with the Baby It's Cold Outside.
What?
You know what I mean?
Oh
You
yeah,
remember
like
that?
rapey,
Oh,
rapey
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Because like
He's like, she's like, oh, I'm trying to go, and he's like, you really can't stay, and then he makes her stay. There's like a Key and Peele skit
Yeah.
where they like reenact the song, but they make it seem like the dude is actually like a sexual predator. It's insane. And then at the end, the girl like kills him with her shoe or something.
Wow.
A bunch
It's
of
pretty
radios
nuts.
like stopped playing that song.
yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
I think a lot of it is the interpretation as well. Because
Well, yeah.
especially because like the song was made in like it's like one of the original songs ish. It was made in like the 50s or whatever. And like back then, songs were very like vanilla. You know what I mean? But like you know what I mean, right? Like everything
Kinda.
was kind of like there wasn't like swearing or anything
Yeah.
like that. And so like in the context of the time period, I think it really was just like he wanted her to stay.
Well, of course.
But
yeah.
like there are definitely some lines that are kind of like
yeah.
Yes.
Well, everyone's
It's
looking
like-
at everything through that lens.
yeah. It's also just like times change, you know.
Yeah.
Christmas. Okay, I overheard this. Chris in the band room today. I overheard someone say this. Christmas has nothing to do with religion anymore. Correct? Yes.
That's so true.
Okay. So, with
Oh.
that being said, what is the point of a holiday? I'll tell you what. Capitalism.
Yeah.
It's a capitalist
Yeah,
holiday. 100%.
People go to
100%.
church. People go to church.
I
I'm not a
know,
fan of
I
going to
know,
church.
but
Like it's
homie,
still it's not
but,
not
but church
Christian.
doesn't have ads. Okay. There aren't.
They do. They
chur-
totally do.
Okay, but not
Bro.
on. Okay, but on TV you don't see an ad saying, "Look, church holiday sweepstakes, get 5 pews for $2." You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not like that. So
No,
it's
no,
like
no. My
the
church.
whole Black Friday, dude. All that
Sure.
stuff, it's blown out of the water. I saw a Christmas ad today. What day is it?
It's
The
November
third?
1st.
The second?
I think it's the
The
first.
second?
No,
Wait, no, second. Oh, I'm
November
stupid.
November 2nd. We're
Halloween
already
wasn't
Christmas ads.
yesterday.
It's crazy. Halloween was 3 days ago.
Like,
Like,
want to buy into it.
yeah,
Yeah,
everyone's
we haven't even
every
hit this
single like product you can think of benefits off of Christmas. It like boosts our economy.
Actually, that's just like
if we
another
didn't have
example.
Christmas, would America be America?
Yeah, it's true.
Ooh.
Oh, and also,
Really.
Deep stuff on MDG podcast.
our troop,
My dog.
r/unfortunate.
our
My dog.
troop,
My dog.
our troop like profits off of Christmas.
Actually, that's so
Christmas
true.
is, we start the
The
day after
holiday
Thanksgiving.
reads.
This day after Thanksgiving, and then we just
Yeah, in Boy Scouts.
yeah, because otherwise our troop wouldn't be.
Tomo
supported.
knows. Tomo's
Yeah.
selling like.
Wasn't this a music podcast?
Oh,
It's about
Okay.
Christmas now.
So anyway, the Kool-Aid Man.
Okay, we're on
Okay.
Kool-Aid Man now.
what
one
about
more. Lo-fi.
Oh.
What's lo-fi?
you know, lo-fi hip hop to chill and relax and
Oh,
solitude.
yeah, no, never mind.
Lo-fi.
Live stream 24/7.
What do you think of it?
Aiden.
I don't know. It's sometimes like situational. Like I like it without like just the beat. Sometimes just like if I'm just driving.
Wait, was that what you were
Just
saying
like
the other day?
nothing.
That I was grooving to like extremely
It's
hard.
just nothing. What does that
Like
mean?
it just like it makes me
It's like the
not. It makes me not think. I don't know. Sometimes I
You're just driving, you turn on, you just like fall asleep and just crash.
no. Sometimes I like think too much
You're just
about
mindless.
things. It just makes me stop
Oh.
over stressing and thinking about it.
So it's relaxing.
I feel like
it truly is
It's
music
like
to
it's like
relax
the
and chill to.
modern like
Well, sometimes.
smooth
Yeah.
jazz.
yeah.
What do you think? Well, what do you think about all the artists that are just taking like little like snippets of like old songs and then putting a beat over it, like, and then the
Yeah,
old
yeah,
songs
yeah,
aren't
yeah,
getting
yeah.
any profit?
Yeah,
Oh.
sampling. Is that legit? Okay, think about this. James Brown, right? Obviously very, very famous and stuff. His drummer, Clyde Stubblefield, kind of a funk god, okay? He had a drum break on one of the James Brown songs, and it's the most sampled thing, or like drum thing
Groove, yeah.
of all time, right? And he got $0.00 for it. And it's been sampled countless times. So like his drumming, he's basically drumming for like a whole 10 years of like hip hop.
Yeah.
Like super famous songs, like platinum songs, you know? And he doesn't get any money. Like what do you think of that? That's crazy, right? Sampling, dude. It's like you're ripping. It's like legitimized piracy.
That's
Musical
That's-
piracy.
that's-
I don't know.
It's
I don't
crazy.
think it's that bad.
Yeah, I
But,
mean,
like,
I sample
think
stuff.
I think
Yeah.
they should get something, but like there's
Yeah.
also they're taking like something and adding to it.
No,
You-
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
No,
it's
I
not like they're
100%.
stealing that.
No, yeah,
idea.
no, I love,
Yeah.
I 100% understand and support the use of samples because all like a crap ton of music I listen to is all samples.
Because also
But it's just weird to think
like,
about.
like just in even classical music and stuff, like a bunch of the same concepts are used over and over,
Mm.
It's true.
right? Like wasn't it a lick from like? I mean, not that I really want to bring this up. Isn't it from like Bartok or something like that?
Yo, what really?
Dude,
Yeah, that's what
I
Marcello
have
was
no-
saying. Marcello
Oh,
was saying
screw
that.
Marcello, dude.
Yeah,
I don't
Marcello
know.
will say whatever then.
But basically, I think Picasso said this.
Oh man.
Dude, this
Good,
is this
good,
is real
good.
crap
Deep
right
stuff.
here. Picasso said, "Great artists, no. Good artists borrow, great artists steal."
I mean, well, think about John Williams, right?
Yeah,
Star
dude.
Wars. That was all based on the like.
The planets.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
planets, right?
Gustave Holst, yeah.
And that's like one of like
It's- I mean,
the
it's the
most
only-
iconic like.
It's like the only way. Yeah, it's like no one can truly create something new.
Like the X-Men like
Can they?
animated TV show theme, it's like they just got sued for like a shit ton of money because they like
For what?
completely stole the theme apparently. Like
From
half
what?
of the theme. I don't know, it was from some small TV show.
Oh
They like took it, like remade it a little bit, and now it's like one of the like
Huge
largest
lawsuit.
like yeah, because it's like one of the largest comic book themes.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's also this is the big whole concept that of like the guy who told the joke versus the person who said it louder. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like in front of the whole class.
You know, it really just captures what's going on in the musical.
It
Dude,
does.
it's very
It
true.
does. It
It's
does.
very true. It's like some big artist here's some dude with like 2,000 plays on Spotify. He's like, wow, this song is pretty sick. Let me steal this beat. and then they make millions off of it.
Yeah.
Played it on TikTok.
Oh yeah, this is how Oliver went viral. He saw people like also doing like lower quality things of the same thing that he does. So he just took
did it
like,
high quality.
No, he took like 10 seconds of his football videos, like threw them together, put them on TikTok, and got like 3 million
It
views.
took me like 30 minutes to do the entire thing.
670,000 likes or something.
What was it?
It was literally just a video of the football
Yeah,
team
just
going
the
like,
football team.
ah, and there's like the crowd and.
I mean,
Yeah,
it was a
yeah.
good quality
Yeah,
video,
no, it was
but
really
like,
good
it wasn't
quality.
like
So like
Oliver-
half of it's just of my camera, and then the other 5 seconds of it is just like 3 clips of football.
Yeah, it's like 10. It's like 10 seconds long.
No, because he uses like all this camera gear just to like record our football team, so that he like can like I don't know, promote his production company.
Yeah.
And he makes really good quality videos. Like a lot of people watch them, but you know.
I don't
not-
get paid for them either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you've gotten hired from it, right?
Yeah.
For other jobs.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's
sick.
yeah. Are we done with music? Or
How are we looking on time?
Are we even timing this? I don't think it really
Oliver
matters.
has a.
We've done so many other podcasts that like it doesn't.
It's
yeah,
like
it doesn't matter.
19 minutes right now.
Oh.
Did we actually talk about music for 19 minutes?
Well,
It wasn't all
It was
music.
rough.
Oh, it was
it was roughly on music.
Okay.
We have like 11 minutes
If
remaining.
Jennifer was here, we'd be at like 5 minutes tops.
Yeah. No one likes Jennifer.
I hate Jennifer, dude.
She was one of our friends, but not anymore.
Oliver, can you see the light on the camera?
Which way?
That one. The super cool one.
The one good. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not talking about anything, so like it doesn't matter.
Well, we can
Yeah,
always
I know.
cut-
Yeah,
it's all this
isn't that sick?
kind of sick.
Okay,
It's him all the time.
so start at
Not all the
April.
time.
Hey, Ryan, are you?
It is what it
Is
is.
he gonna end up pooping though?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on, which one?
Ryan,
It's that
if
one.
you want to do that thing where you stare at the camera, stare at this one, I can go like right just to your
You
face.
just- you made poop with your hands.
Well,
That is so sick.
Wait, if you turn upside down, it's dude.
That's so
Turn upside down, it's dude.
Dude. Okay.
can we talk about the Kool-Aid Man?
Yeah, let's talk about the
Yeah.
Kool-Aid Man now.
Okay.
Here, wait.
So I know Tomo has been wondering about. I know Tomo has been wondering about this for quite some time.
Yeah.
So would
Well-
you like to explain?
Yeah, I was wondering, since there's a Kool-Aid Man, I was wondering how, first of all, how the Kool-Aid Man was made, and second of all, is there just one Kool-Aid Man, or is there many Kool-Aid Men? And also, how does the Kool-Aid Man get his Kool-Aid? Is it like a part of his body? In which case, why does he give a part of his
Blood
body
drive.
to little children? That's kind of weird. Also, are there different races of Kool-Aid men? And also, are there Kool-Aid women? And that's about all the questions I have for the Kool-Aid Man. Would you guys have any
This is
answers?
what I-
Wait.
Okay, I just think there's only one Kool-Aid man.
Yeah.
That's just I don't think there are any
Wait.
more
But
Kool-Aid people.
if there were Kool-Aid women, would they lose some of their Kool-Aid each month?
Oh.
Oh.
But also, like Max said, like when they're pouring away their Kool-Aid, it's like donating blood for them because they regenerate it, like they remake more.
Oh.
But how though, dude? Just like the
Natural
glass
process.
thing.
Oh, but
Also,
no,
how does it not break?
no,
You know
the
what I mean?
glass is just a shell. Inside the glass, there's actually like a bunch of different like I don't know.
Also,
organs working
the
together.
top of the Kool-Aid Man is just open, right? So if he just falls, would he just
spills.
lose all of his Kool-Aid? And
He
if
loses
it's
his
blood,
Kool-Aid.
if
Is that
it's
like
blood,
throwing up?
then he just lose all his blood and die, right?
Well, I think. You guys seen the new Stranger Things thing with the rats? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Have you
Three?
seen
I
the
have no
Stranger
idea.
Things
I don't- wait,
season?
Season 3?
Dose.
Dose?
3? There's 3 seasons?
Yeah.
No.
And the third one.
Yeah,
Third one.
third
Yeah.
one. Third one. Yeah.
Wait, you know, okay. You
Oh,
know how
yeah,
the
the
big
rats
monster
and
dude
then
is
they
made of all the
explode.
little rats, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're liquid,
Yeah.
but they're more like what semi-liquid is that you call
Oh,
it? Semi-solid.
yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking about the Kool-Aid. I think
Yeah.
if it spills, it's just like it all just regroups and like goes back in the. It's back in the container. It's like life. It's like living little
like
blobs.
like the nanotech
Like a
deal.
Yeah, and then
symbiote from,
Kool-Aid is just the juice of the blobs.
Does that mean
He's
that
like juices himself.
how Kool-Aid men are made is one part of the Kool-Aid man splits
Dude, it's
into
like
two
mitosis.
other parts of
And then they
Kool-Aid man.
have sex with each other, and then they make more, and it just keeps going.
No, it's just like an amoeba though,
Kool-Aid.
where like they break apart, and
The very part again.
yeah, no, like
Single
they
cell
split. You know what I mean?
Wait,
There's
but
an interesting
it's
story.
like-
about
Let's
it.
say if like the Kool-Aid like inhabited another glass. Do you think that glass
Yeah.
would like
no.
become
Like
Kool-Aid,
a hermit
become
crab?
sentient?
No, but
Yes.
what about?
Wait, dude, what if we drink every time we drink Kool-Aid, we're drinking
I know that's what I'm saying.
like
what if
like beings?
what if the
Wait,
kids drink Kool-Aid and then Kool-Aid takes them over?
And they
Like
become Kool-Aid
they're
men?
like Kool-Aid zombies.
just like the Stranger
it's like
Things.
you think that's the
Like,
government
just like in
feeding us
Stranger
Kool-Aid to make us like
Yeah.
Dude.
Kool-Aid is like mass produced.
Kool-Aid is freaking mind control serum.
Yeah.
I agree.
Do they
I
just
agree.
become
Oh,
Kool-Aid
and it's
men
cheap.
zombies?
It's cheap because they want to keep the poor, and it's a
Oh.
whole
it's
it's a whole
Oh, yeah.
strategy
You're
to
right.
to keep the
Wait, so is like
what's there's like a word for this.
is the Kool-Aid man like some kind of aristocracy? Like trying to keep the rich rich and
I think he's like a member of the freaking Area 51 crap, and he's from Area 51, and he's like a government
oh
tool.
This is a good segue actually. So with like presidents and stuff, like won't give information if they like believe it like threatens the public safety.
Uh-huh.
What if that's happening with aliens? What if the president knows like the deal with like what if there are aliens on Earth and the president knows this but he's not telling anyone because it would threaten the safety of like the nation?
Well, this is why the Area 51 raid happened, or
Well, I mean,
happened.
like
didn't
nothing
really happen.
actually happened.
Yeah, I know, but you know what I mean. It's like everyone thinks the same thing. That's why they're like, "Hey, who knows what the hell's in there? It could be aliens."
I mean, if we did have, I feel like Trump would already
Yeah.
have told us, because like, I mean,
He
he told
tweeted
that
out.
he told that we have nukes in Turkey. So
Yeah, no,
like,
Do you guys
well, what else?
You
can he
guys
tell
see the
us?
thing where he was trying to nuke the hurricane?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
No,
they're like he like suggested to like the rest of his boys up in the White House. He was like, "Yo, I think we should nuke the hurricane. That'll stop it." It's like, dude,
Yes.
you will literally
Force
destroy
would
the
stop
Earth if you do that. Radiation showers.
No, radiation hurricane like spreads across the
Dude,
globe,
yeah.
kills everyone.
No,
Because
okay.
the heat too
That'd be
is
so
just adding
sick.
to like the power. Of the,
Yeah.
So sick.
Wait, but aliens, okay? One, do they
President
exist?
11.
And two, are they on Earth and we just don't know it?
They
They
definitely
exist.
They
exist.
definitely exist, dude.
Yeah.
There's no chance they don't. It's like, actually, I mean, of course, there's a chance they don't, but like, I feel like there's a better chance that they do because the size of the universe.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
the odds
literally
that we
infinite,
are the
yeah.
only. Unless they're
And
like
how big is the Earth compared to
the-
like
the odds are
whatever-
But what if they're like
It's
a
like-
fourth dimensional being?
That's dude. I've thought about that too. I've
Right?
thought a lot about that. Is that
So like we don't
We live
we
in
don't
three
comprehend
dimensions.
them. Like
Yeah.
they're with us, but like we
Yeah.
don't comprehend them because
Yeah.
we're in 3 dimensions.
What would four
Like
dimensions
spooky
be?
ghosts.
What would a fourth dimension be? Tomo, you
No
feel like you
clue.
know.
It's just like
What?
Dude,
So okay,
picture this.
one dimension,
yeah.
One dimension is a dot.
a dot. Yeah.
Yeah.
2 dimensions is a line.
Line.
But you could also think of 2 dimensions
wait,
as
two
like a
dimensions-
bunch
flat.
of dots.
Two dimensions
No,
is
but like a
like-
It's a
bunch of
plane.
dots
Plane.
stacked
Yeah,
up.
two
Yeah.
dimensions is like
And you get-
like
Two
on a-
dimensions
on a
is a plane. One dimension is a line.
And three
Zero
dimensions is like
the
put
dot.
your arm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
0 dimensions is a dot, but like if you think about it, you
Okay.
stack
So a
through
dimension
0
is like a
dimensions,
line.
you get a line.
Yeah.
You stack 1 dimensions and you get a plane.
Yeah.
And you stack 2 dimensions
Oh.
and you get a cube. So then
So what would happen if you stacked a
you
bunch
would
of
somehow
cubes?
stack 3 dimensions, but
Yeah.
in a way that we don't comprehend because we're in 3 dimensions. Because a 2-dimensional being, like if you were, imagine you lived on a piece of paper,
Yeah.
right? You couldn't understand a 3-dimensional thing.
Yeah. It wouldn't make sense.
And so in the same way, we don't understand it.
Well,
4D is where you're, I'm pretty sure it's where you can interact with the stuff in 3D, and then 5D is where you can see from beginning to end. This is from Concrete, because like the 3D models, they'll make like a beginning to end, and you can see inside of the 3D 4D models.
That's for like models and for like
Yeah.
movies,
That
but
made
it's
no
different
sense.
for
I
like
don't understand
actual physics. Like
Yeah,
a theoretical fourth dimension is time, which doesn't intersect with matter in its 3-dimensional form, but time works as a fourth dimension
So would it just be? Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's like
So it would just be
parallel.
like, time traveling 3D people.
Yeah,
Yeah, because like there also one of the other theories is like the reason we say time is like the fourth dimension
Yeah.
is because as you travel along the third dimension, like you can loop like back around,
Yeah.
and then like that counts as time for us, but like what we perceive as time is just like the circle. You know what I mean? So like we're think of like a bunch of cubes, right? But then all the cubes curve and like come back. And so then that's what we perceive as time, like traveling along these
Yeah,
cubes.
yeah, yeah.
But in reality, it's just another shape in the fourth dimension.
Oh, okay.
So like as like a person walks along a piece of paper,
Yeah.
we just think of them as like being in the third dimension or whatever, because like we perceive them walking.
Yeah.
But to them, they're moving distance and over like time. If that makes sense, it's really confusing.
But like, yeah, I feel like there's no real way.
There's no way.
There's obviously no real way we could ever figure out what four-dimensional
I don't think
things
it's
are.
that we could never figure it
Yeah.
out.
I feel
It's
like
just
we
that
already
we're not
have,
there.
but we're just not smart enough to understand it.
Well, yeah, no, that's what like physicists
Some
are
first
saying.
grader was like, oh yeah, what if the fourth dimension is like Monsters Inc. on crack? So like where you go through the doors, but like the doors aren't real, and they take you to hell. And then the first grade teacher was like, you're crazy, Jimmy. And then yeah, we just don't understand, but Jimmy was right all along.
Yeah.
Ford?
The Monsters Inc. theme song is pretty fire. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, you've been playing it recently.
Ryan
Back
told me
on
a
music.
story.
You've been playing it like every day at lunch.
Yeah.
Fourth dimensional creatures probably think we're like stupid.
Well,
Cause-
yeah.
Well, but we don't think a stick figure is stupid.
Dude,
Ooh,
what I've
facts.
heard
Stick
is
figures
like,
not alive.
They don't have
is that like
brains.
two-dimensional things
That's stupid.
give off one-dimensional shadows, and then three-dimensional things give off
Two-dimensional
two-dimensional shadows.
So
Oh.
four dimensional.
So we're shadows.
Yeah, so maybe we are shadows of a fourth
Dude,
dimension.
okay.
Wait,
have you
it's
guys
Peter
seen?
Pan.
Have you seen?
Peter
Have
Pan
you
trying
seen?
to catch his shadow?
Yeah, dude.
Dude.
Have you guys seen Us?
No.
Okay, so that's
Someone
like
already spoiled it for me,
it's
so.
like a Jordan Peele movie, right?
Yeah.
Well, I know it happens.
Pretty freaking creepy, right? But basically, the whole thing is that there's like people that live underground that are our shadows. So essentially we're living our lives, right? And then they're down there, tethered to us, but they aren't experiencing what we're experiencing. They don't really have any sort of experience. They kind of just go around in these like circles, and like do what we do, but like obviously not. They just don't. They just have like no real like existence aside from
Wait.
doing what we do and living through us. So like when we eat, we get the nutrition, but they eat and they didn't get anything. So they're just like it's really weird. It's really weird. But like
the
that
whole
kind of reminds
shadow
me of the
thing.
four-dimensional thing because
Right?
like they're three-dimensional but they're shadows.
But like if we're shadows of a fourth dimensional being, right? And we really don't have choice in what we do, right? And wouldn't the fourth dimensional being be a shadow of a fifth dimensional being? And then the farther up you go, then in a sense, don't you come up with like a god figure, like controlling everyone as like shadows?
It's like the
So like the the infinite dimension
Yeah.
being,
yeah.
Fractal.
like is God,
Skips over.
and then what God does, like gets trickled down through
Throughout
like
the
layers of like
dimensions.
shadows, dimensions, and
Uh-huh.
we're only in the third dimension.
Uh.
Or what if we aren't in the
So
third
it's like-
dimension? What if we're in the 100th dimension, and there's like the first dimension we don't know
Negative
about
dimensions,
yet,
we just haven't discovered.
right?
like,
What if we're
previous
like in the
dimensions.
middle of the dimension category,
I don't-
and there's dimensions below
Yeah,
zero?
way below.
quote
Yeah.
unquote.
I don't
There's
think
like
so.
negative dimension.
But then, like again, we just like don't understand past like.
But yeah, but like what would be lower than a dot?
Well,
we
we
don't
don't
know.
know. We don't know.
What if
We
we
can't
can't
comprehend that.
Yeah.
We can't
So
comprehend
then what's the point of even like
I mean,
it's
we,
weird, man.
we
You know,
can't comprehend the fourth
philosophy
dimension.
is weird because it's sick, but also like there's no point other than like trying to get people to like think about other things. But like, yeah, okay, obviously there are philosophers that have like changed the world, obviously,
Yeah.
right? But when you're talking about stuff like this, it's like yes, this information sparks new ideas, but that just keeps happening, and it's like an infinite loop of just like new ideas. But like I feel like it never really leads to
Well, it just
like tangible like
it just takes one person,
improvement. You know what I mean?
to figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like all the like the crazy theorists like Ryan B over here, they just never
Wait.
end until the one dude figures out what God is, and then everyone's like sick.
But what if the shadow people, like the people that we are the shadow of, the fourth dimensional beings, don't like that we're figuring out that we're their shadows,
So we kill ourselves.
right?
Oh, Tomo, what?
That should let
fuck,
them know.
why would we kill ourselves?
So in Bird Box,
Oh, fuck
they're
that.
actually
That movie's so bad.
yeah, I know.
Wait,
It's like I watched it with my sister, and she's like, "This is so good. This is such a sick
No,
movie."
it's like the other.
It's
like
literally just making you uncomfortable for no reason.
No, and it's literally just like a really
the movie?
bad rip-off version of like A Quiet Place. Like A Quiet Place was okay.
Mm.
It
I
was
like The
'cause
Quiet
it
Place.
had.
Oh yeah, it literally is.
Yeah, because it was like it
You
had good
can't
ideas.
talk,
It
but
was
these
just
you
a different
just can't
sense.
see. Yeah.
No, and then here it was except in that movie it's like weird because it's like some other being or whatever. What if it's a fourth dimensional being? They're like when you see it, they're making you kill yourself because we found out too much.
Oh, so we're discovering the fourth dimensional being, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Nah, let me
So the
let me make my shadow destroy
Oh,
himself."
No,
you know-
So the director of that movie.
But then they're destroying themselves because we're the shadows.
Oh, that's true.
Wait. When you guys were little kids, did you ever try to like jump on your shadow?
Yeah.
Right?
Try to suffocate.
What if like fourth dimensional beings?
This is whack, dude.
What if when we die, the fourth dimensional being, is like a little kid who steps on the shadow, and the shadow dies, but then is reborn as like another thing.
But like,
So,
okay,
like, you
but
can
when you step
kill
on
your
your shadow, nothing happens though. It's like you step on your shadow, and then you're like, "Damn."
No,
it's
but
in
what
the
if
way.
another one takes your place
Just like instantaneously.
instantaneously?
Well, our
To
shadows
us.
change all the time because like with
So rebirth
the
is a
different
thing.
lights, like that's like the shadow of
Right.
that. That's like a different one.
What if every
Yeah,
day
that's
there's a
like
new
a
shadow?
different
Because time is relative. What if
Yeah.
time slows down or speeds up over dimensions?
Yeah, like for
So
the-
like you know
Oh,
each day your shadow.
Dude,
gets
because the speed of
taller
light,
and
the
stuff?
speed of
Yeah.
light is
Yeah.
different than
Yeah.
the speed
No.
of like
So
Of us.
of us.
So-
yeah, what?
At our speed.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what I
So
mean?
like you know how when
like
the
there's
sun
different speeds
for
and
us
shit.
the sun moves, right?
Yeah.
And our shadow gets longer. What if that's the shadow, the
Growing
second dimensional being is growing up, right? It
Oh.
grows up, dies, and then it dies.
Oh shit! And then
No, but there is-
at nighttime the shadow dies, and then
No, but like you can step on the shadow and stuff to end its life early, and then so that's where there's like child mortality and stuff.
Wait,
What?
wait. What did you just say?
No, when you're a little kid, right?
Yeah.
And you like jump on your shadow.
Yeah.
What if that kills the shadow, and that's
Yeah.
like why? So like, what if fourth dimensional beings are doing that, and that's why little like kids and
Oh,
stuff like
yeah.
that's why people die earlier than they like should in their normal lifespan,
So
right?
But like, does that? Okay, but that
Well,
happens
because-
because of like.
because the fourth dimensional being grows up, eventually.
Yeah. But like,
and
does that
becomes
happen?
more mature and won't step on the shadow. So that's why like not every child dies.
No, I understand, but like, if a child dies, it's not because of some. It's not like some like only in certain cases is it like some really unforeseen thing, like it's usually like they get hit by a car or something. You know what I mean? Or like they're killed or something crazy. Like it doesn't seem as like instantaneous or like
Yeah.
like sickness and stuff. I guess you could argue that like someone getting sick is like the step.
But
or
like
whatever,
think
but,
about how many days you've lived without trying to kill your shadow. Like there's a lot of days that you don't try to kill your shadow, which would explain why there's like not that many times like people just like die randomly. You know what I mean?
wait,
Okay, but we're forgetting something, and that's that shadows aren't alive.
wait. So but then for
We think, but what if they're just second dimensional being?
would one lifetime for us
Whoa.
be just one day for the fourth dimensional being shadow?
It would be less.
Before the
No.
shadow-
The second.
Our lifetime.
The
is just like
second
a day.
dimensionals, the second dimensionals lifespan is one day for us.
Yeah, but so then for the fourth dimensionals, our lifespan is one day for them.
Yeah.
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 So that's why the whole rebirth thing, like Orion was
Yes.
talking
Shit.
No,
It's
shadows don't- Stupid.
I think we're yeah.
about.
Shadows aren't alive, guys.
New topic.
Tomo, but what if, dude?
It's not.
The whole
What
philosophy
am I doing?
philosophy is based off the
There's
question
no
of what
proof.
if.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
there's
no
no
proof
proof
that
that this is
Yeah.
not true.
There's no proof of anything. But why do you exist, Tomo? No one knows. What if?
Well, that's
what if?
different from
What
why
if
are
you exist
shadows
because
alive?
what if you
They're
exist
not.
because the Cheeto guy was like, hey, what if, what's the guy's name? What's the, Tony the Tiger. Chester. What if Chester Cheeto was like, you know what? I'm gonna make this kid that's good at math because I'm bored, and then that's why you exist. Like you don't fucking know.
What if in a way we're all Cheetos?
What if you're fucking Chester the Cheeto's little lab rat, and he was like, and he's just like, dude, screw this kid, Tomo. I don't give a shit.
That's different from whether or not shadows
You don't know
are
anything,
alive,
Tomo.
though, Max.
You don't know anything. You know some
I
stuff,
know that
but
shadows aren't alive.
you don't know that.
You don't know
It's
that.
like
You don't know that. How do you know that 2
plus?
plus 2? How do you know that 2 plus 2 is 4? Because everyone told you so, right?
Numbers are literally a figment of our like,
Exactly. It's like you can't prove anything, dude.
I mean, you
It's
can't
like
prove that
Big
you're
Brother,
right.
man. 2 plus 2 is 5. Like that makes sense. Like if you're told that, that's what you believe. It's like,
Although no, I actually disagree because let's say you have like 2 rocks.
yeah,
But you could just say these are rocks.
Yeah.
If you get more rocks, with
it
those
should.
rocks,
Yeah, it's the same amount. Yeah.
then
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not gonna be the same. Like
Yeah, no,
it's
I
gonna-
know, I
yeah,
know.
yeah.
But it's like a good
But-
example.
Yeah, it is a good example though. Yeah.
It's like
Words
you
are
can't have
weird,
you can't have
guys.
2. You can't have one rock be mounted as 2. Is what you're saying.
Oh yeah, by the way, this is what I meant when like I said words are weird. Just saying.
Yeah.
Like words only have meaning because we give them meaning. Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah.
I feel like that's like that for basically everything though.
Yeah.
Like food.
But words, unlike a lot of things, don't rely on our senses. Right?
Yeah, they do. They rely on our ears.
On our ears,
And our
yes.
mouths and our.
And we
But
read
like,
them.
but like with
Yeah.
food, you have like there's a taste, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I guess you could say that.
It's a sound. It's like it's a sight. You know. It's like
It's a
Oh
sound.
wait, so let's say you taste something, right?
Yeah.
And you think that tastes good, but in your mind you're thinking that tastes good. As a baby, what do you think that tastes like? You don't have words to associate it with.
It just tastes.
Tastes good, but you don't know the word good.
And
Well, no,
then, like,
but
just
your
know that it
emotions.
tastes
The
good.
emotional context is still
Yeah.
there. You have no
But,
way
like,
to
also,
express
like-
it though.
Yeah, but like, how does like
No,
a
'cause-
baby or
no.
someone who can't talk?
Because you don't express emotions with words necessarily. You can think an emotion and not like that's why people.
I
Say,
guess.
That's why
"I
people
can't
think like
describe
dogs. That's why people are like dogs. Dogs have emotion, right? But they have no way to express it. That's why it's like everyone's like treat your dog.
No, but also it's like I can't. Sometimes you have a feeling and you can't describe it. It's because you
Mhm.
don't have a word to describe it. Words are just association, but you can still
Yeah.
feel things without words.
Like also,
Yeah.
how does one like think something through without words? Because like I know I personally, when I like am thinking something through, I say words in my head. But
Oh,
like,
yeah, yeah.
But like without word, if I didn't have words to
Oh,
think
it
about,
wouldn't be. It would
like
be
what
weird
do
to think
how do I
about it.
think it through?
I
You
once
just,
read a
like-
thing where it was like all humans
Well, images.
have all humans when they hear anything or like when they think of anything, there's a picture
Yeah.
that they think about.
And it's hard to not do that. I saw a video. I think it was George that showed this to me actually. You know George, and you know George. But
For
basically,
the viewers out there,
George
Rogers,
Rogers.
legendary
Great guy.
saxophonist.
Yeah, I'll just give a rundown of his life. So he was born, and then he learned the saxophone, and then he mastered the saxophone.
and then he learned piano too, and so he can write good stuff.
Now he's just a living myth, you know.
Yeah, we don't know if he actually exists anymore. But basically, he showed me this video, and it basically said that, yeah, it was like what Aiden said. Every word, every sound, every thought has an image, right? And so then they were just talking about how your thoughts aren't actually controlled by you. Like you don't control your own thoughts. It's society
It's the shadow.
that controls your thought. Oh, if I say black cat, what just popped into your head?
Yeah.
A black
gray
cat,
cat.
right? No, shut up. A black cat, right?
My
So it's
cat.
like
colorblind.
My cat.
So, okay, but like the reason is because you've been raised knowing that's a black cat, right? So, are you controlling your thought by thinking of it, or am I controlling your thoughts by telling you black cat? If I have the power to tell you black cat to put an image in your brain, are you even controlling your thoughts?
So like the people who try.
Or is the world controlling your thoughts? Does that make sense?
Yeah, but like the people who like try and brainwash people by like locking them in
Yeah.
chairs, showing them images and like
Yeah.
saying words.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That, I mean,
Yeah.
that does work.
It's
You
association,
know, it's like
yeah.
you know Thoreau.
Yeah,
Yeah, he like went into the woods and like hid
yeah,
just by himself because
Yeah.
he was like, I'm gonna be completely myself,
yeah.
which is kind of
Wait,
Interesting.
crazy to think about.
Uh,
So Thoreau is this
David-
philosopher.
Henry David Thoreau.
Yeah, he's a transcendentalist philosopher.
Yeah.
Why?
Early America.
You know, but he basically decided that to become your like true self,
Yeah.
you need like no
Disassociate from
connection.
everything.
Yeah, you can't be at all connected to society. So
The
he
only thing
basically
you can be
went-
connected to is nature.
Yeah, he basically bought a cabin and just lived in the woods by himself for like
Yeah.
a lot of his life until
Yeah.
he got arrested for tax evasion.
and then he wrote a book about it called
I don't know.
Oh no, it's Song of Myself is Whitman.
Song of Myself is with
And then Self-Reliance, that's Emerson.
Yeah,
What's the third? Walden.
Walden.
Oh, but then he's the
Showed
one.
that.
He's
I think I showed you an excerpt.
he's the
I
one-
texted
class
his name.
is this?
This is English honors. Good stuff.
Fuck.
It's like
Good stuff.
The freak.
the real question is why aren't you not doing this or something?
Oh yeah, no, cause
Yeah.
so basically when he was in jail for being
Oh, yeah,
after
yeah,
being
that's
arrested
what
for
I
tax
said, yeah,
evasion, Ralph Waldo Emerson, another famous philosopher, also transcendentalist, came and saw him in jail, and basically was like, "Teach me, Thoreau."
Yeah,
And then he was like, and Emerson was like, "Why are you in here?" or something like that, right?
Yeah, no, he was like, why, how, no, he like walked by on the street or something, and he was like, and they're friends, so he's like, wait, how did you get in here, and like, why are you here? And then he was like,
Why
the
aren't
real
you?
question is, why aren't you in here? But he like, it was the reason to.
Yeah.
It was like, there was more than tax evasion, it was like tax evasion and like, not wanting to support something.
Yeah, no, because he didn't believe in like what
Time out.
taxes would be used for. Or something.
We're at like 25 minutes on this.
You know Walt Whitman? Did you know that Walt Whitman wanted to get naked and rub his junk on trees?
Okay.
That's true.
Fertilizer, man.
Natural fertilizer. No, but yeah, stuff's crazy, dude. Basically, it was like, but the thing about the thought in the images was basically saying that this guy who wrote about this basically drove himself literally insane because he solely believed that he had no control over his own thought. That the only reason he thought anything was because the world had showed him to think it. Does that make sense? So like,
Yeah.
just like me talking to you at like in any way or you seeing anything, it just forces you to think something, right? So
Well,
it's
I mean-
like just the whole thing about like you don't really think for yourself. It's like the world thinks for you.
I mean, see,
That
another
makes
way to
sense.
think about it, this, right?
True.
It's impossible
True.
to exist
Yeah.
with zero
Dick.
human interaction.
Yeah.
Because
No.
you were born from a human being, and therefore interacted with humans
Well, I feel like it'd
At
be interesting though
least
because
to an extent. No matter, even if like you were like left in the woods.
yeah,
as
no,
an
that's what I'm
orphan or
saying.
something.
It's like if okay, let's say you're born, they cut the umbilical cord and they can just shove you in the woods,
You'd
Yeah.
die. If you're a baby.
right? But what if you didn't die? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just what if? What if you didn't die?
Some Tarzan
Then you
touch.
really you have no memory of the
The
people that
Microsoft.
birthed you. You know, like what would happen?
I think
We
you
don't know.
wouldn't
We really
have
don't know.
words or any like society-made stuff.
Yeah.
But then you'd have emotions still. That's
Yeah.
a human thing.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
But also you learn emotions.
Nah.
I feel
But
like
em-
emotions.
emotions are natural, dude.
But
You'd have
it'd be
your
like
own.
different
You'd have your
emotions.
own
They'd be
Yeah.
like-
idea.
Because
Emotions,
you'd
yeah.
have like a level of sadness, like because if you try to make something and
It doesn't work.
it doesn't work, there's gonna be some level of
But I feel like
disappointment
it'd
or
be, like,
sadness.
Yeah, because that's just like it's an evolutionary thing.
Cause like also like it's like in Gibson's Guide to Greatness when she was talking about like heartbreak. You know what I mean? She was talking about like heartbreak and stuff.
Miss
Like,
Gibson.
know.
it's
I
like
know.
no, but like it's if you've ever felt it's like a real feeling.
Yeah, she said it like literally feels like your chest.
No,
is
like I actually like
felt in two.
I
Yeah.
yeah. Aiden knows and
Oh.
and me.
Aww.
Yeah.
Aw.
No, but like it's like a real thing though. You know what I mean?
Okay, I was gonna finish Ryan's thing, but okay.
You guys are dumb and that you have to leave. You should come back later and we can continue or not. The show will go on.
Tell my G-Lock. Hey! You see that, Aiden?
We did a G-Lock.
Yeah, dude.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thanks for having
Much love, you
Guys.
guys.
Who we need sort of